Hi, my name is Anne, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own little notebooks. Over here we have the supplies that you're going to need for this craft. All of these supplies will be arriving in your craft kit when you order it from CPP. So let's get started. This program takes about an hour to an hour and a half to do. As with all the craft programs, it's a great idea to pre-register people ahead of time. That way you ensure that you have enough supplies for everybody. All right, so we're going to start with a 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And usually what I like to do is just put all the papers out on the table so that people can choose the papers they want to use to make their notebooks ahead of time. So you get people started that way. So I'm going to take this cardstock paper and just fold it in half this way. Give it a nice crease. That's going to be the cover of your book. Then I'm going to take 5 basic copier paper, 8.5 by 11 copier paper. I'm going to fold each piece of paper the same way. And once you finish folding all 5, you just want to tuck them into each other, because they're going to form the pages of your notebook. And then just go ahead and tuck it right into the cardstock. So you've got the beginning of your notebook right there. Right now we're going to take our board book here and put it underneath. We're so great, we recycle all of these materials for our craft programs. And I'm going to open the book up to this, to the crease in the middle portion of the book. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a ruler and put it right down in the middle. And you're going to be placing a mark along that crease at the halfway point. So that this is 8.5 inches. You're going to be coming in roughly about 4 1/4. Make a little mark there. And then you're going to just put your ruler down right at the end and come in a 1/2 inch from the end and make another little mark there. And then the same thing for the other end of your book. 1/2 inch in, mark along the crease there. So these are going to be the 3 places where you're going to put your holes. What I like to do is take a couple of binder clips here from the side, and when you put them on, this just helps to stabilize the paper so it doesn't move around a lot while you're trying to hammer your holes and do your sewing. All right, here comes the fun part. We're going to take our awl here and also our little craft hammer. And these supplies, you'll have fewer of these supplies than some of the others. The idea is that the board books and the awl and the hammer can be shared among people. When they're done, they just kind of pass it around the table. All right, here we go. So we're just going to go ahead and with the awl, we're going to punch a little hole in that. 4 or 5 times. You can go like this to make sure. You just want it to get all the way through all of the paper. So usually 5 or 6 hammers will do it. You can always think about something you're mad about. That also helps. All right. Just about done here with all of our holes. Here we go. All right. So you've got your 3 holes here. And now the thing that you're going to do is you're going to stitch your thread through to make to tie your book together. So what I've got here is a tapestry needle and some linen thread. And the amount of thread I've taken is basically 3 directions this way. 1, 2, 3. That's how much thread you're going to need. You just thread it through and you're going to leave, you're not going to knot the end of it. You're just going to leave it unknotted. All right, so we are ready to go. So what you want to do is you want to start from the inside and push your needle through to the other side. Pull your thread through. You're going to leave a bit of a tail, and you could just sort of judge it coming down to about that hole on the end there. So with your needle at the back, you're going to come through this hole from the back. Sometimes it takes a little wiggling to get through. So, and pull it on through. And you want to pull it nice and tautly so it's not too loose. And then you're going to come all the way down to this last hole and then go through from the front to the back. Right, again, pulling. And if I flip this over the other way, you'll see that you've got one more stitch to do up the back. And you're going to meet that in the middle. So you're going to go through the middle hole again, from back to front, come on through. Great. Give it a pull to make sure it's nice and taut. What I'm going to do is just clip it off, and you're just going to tie one knot. That's all you need. And you can clip it if you want, or just trim it if you want, or just leave it like that. So I'll remove my binder clips. And here you have your pamphlet stitch, which is what this stitch is called, pamphlet stitch notebook. Now you can leave it like this if you like, or you can add a small embellishment. And the way you do that is you want to take just the front cover, so not the whole book, and just take a little brad here. And all you need to do really is just eyeball where you're going to put it. I would say maybe right about there, sort of in the middle, but it doesn't have to be precise. And if you just go ahead and push it on through the paper, it goes through really easily. You just turn it over and open up the feet, as I like to call it, and then open it back up again. Now, then you want to take some baker's twine here to tie around the book. And what you do is you want to use about a length of about six lengths worth. So what you'll do is you'll just go ahead and secure the baker's twine around the brad. And usually if you just kind of tie it around maybe 5 or 6, 7 times, so it gets nice and tight, you'll be able to tell. And then all you're going to do is wrap it around the side and wrap it around the side again. Right. And one more time. And then all you have to do is just wrap it around this way to secure it, and then just bring it down. You can clip it if you want to. So this gives you a closed notebook if you want for journaling or anything you'd like to do. So that is your pamphlet stitch notebook. One of the things I also want to mention while you're doing this craft is, because there are a lot of steps to it, you really want to do the steps together. Everybody's going to feel more confident if everybody's doing the steps together. So the next project we're going to do is we're going to make a stab stitch notebook that looks something like this. And we're going to use a lot of the same materials that we've already used for the pamphlet stitch notebook. So what I have here is basically 8 pieces of just a pad of paper that I tore off here. And what I did was I took cardstock and basically cut it to size. So whatever size paper you're using for your filler paper, you want to cut down your cardstock to the same size. You're using 2 pieces, one's front and one's back. And you're just going to put it right in the middle. That's going to be your filler paper. So you have your book like that. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to create a template so you know where to drill your holes. So I'm going to go ahead and rip this off, and this is how you make the template. We're going to fold it in half lengthwise like that, and then fold it in half one more time, and fold it in half one more time. So 3 times total, and give it a nice crease. And then you're just going to open it up one more time, or open it up. 8. And what you're going to do is you're going to create the holes where you're going to put the marks where you're going to create your holes. So what I'm going to do is come about half an inch in and just draw a line. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is make my holes. And the way I do this is you'll see all these little folds here, correct? So we're going to come into the first fold and make a mark. Then we're going to count 2, 1, 2, count 2 again, 1, 2, and count 2 again, 1, 2. And you'll see that these are all evenly spaced with the little bit on the end here. So we're going to be doing 4 holes. All right, so what you would do at this point is you would attach this to the front of your book with your binder clips, and you would go ahead and drill your holes the same way you did for the pamphlet stitch. So I have gone ahead and already done some holes ahead of time, and I've removed the template from this and put the binder clips on. I'm going to turn it this way, and I do recommend that when you are demonstrating the craft that you have everybody turn their notebook the same way with the holes on the lower side. That way everyone is oriented the same way, so when you're saying the second hole from the left, everybody's working from the same direction. Big tip there. Okay, so now we're going to stitch this together, and we're going to take, again, the tapestry needle. We've threaded it the same way. This time I've used about 6 times the height, or this distance here, 6 times to give it enough. All right, so here's how we start. It's a tiny bit tricky, but this is kind of the hardest part, so take your time doing this. You may need to help people with this, and that's fine. So we're going to open up the book, and we're going to go about halfway in, so about 4 pages in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up through the middle of the book. So not the back of the book, the middle of the book. And I'm going to come in through the second hole. So here we go. Second hole coming in halfway through the book. Pull it on through. And kind of like the pamphlet stitch, you're going to leave a little tail, and you're going to tuck it into your book. And we'll meet up with it a little bit later on. You'll see what I mean. So now we're going to start stitching. So you want to come around the bottom and back up through that same hole again. When I can find it, sorry. Okay, so you've made your first stitch. You're going to go over to the third hole here and go from front to back. You've kind of made an upside down L here. And as with this stitch, you're going to wrap around the bottom again and come back through that third hole, front to back. And now your needle is oriented at the back. So you're going to come through the fourth hole from back to front and pull through. Again, pull nice and tautly. And you're going to wrap around the bottom again. So wrap around and come back through, back to front. Give it a pull. And at this point, what we do next is we're going to wrap around the side of the notebook. So wrap around the side, and then we're going to come back up through that same hole, the fourth hole. Here we go, coming through. Then we go back to the third hole, front to back. And then it's on the back already, so we're going to come back through that second hole, back to front. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, and now we're going to go to the very first hole, front to back, wrap around the bottom again, front to back, and we're going to wrap around the side like we did over here, wrap around the side, front to back. All right, and it seems like you're done, except when I turn it over, we still have one more stitch to do, right? So I'm going to turn it over. And what I'm going to do is I'll take the binder clips off, and we're going to do what we did with that first stitch, which is we're going to come through the middle and meet that little tail. So let's find the middle where your tail is. It's a little sticky. All right. There it is. All right, so here's your tail in the middle. We're going to go ahead and we're going to come through the back, but we're not going to go all the way to the front, right? So we're going to go through the back and we're going to come in to meet the middle stitch here. So go ahead and just pull it on through and we'll tie it up. Again, just one knot is perfect. And what I will do is just give it a trim and tuck it in. It kind of fits nicely into that crease there. And there you have your stab stitch notebook here. And you can orient it this way, you can orient it this way. These make really fun gifts for people. And once you get started with these, they're definitely kind of addictive. So I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you have fun. Happy crafting. Any questions? You can always call me. Thank you.